not a lot of traction for this movie, even though I think it might pick up later. Maybe.
If we're lucky.
Yeah.
I think it's in like 800 theaters.
Yeah, people, this movie is supposed to be the big comeback for you know who, Jonathan Majors. Yet it only opened up in 800 theaters, and not a lot of people talking about it. But I don't know. You'll tell us if it is worth talking about. We're talking about Magazine Dream.
Horse! They're gonna put a picture of me on the cover of the magazine.
So I've heard a few things about this movie.
Looks like The Wrestler.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A couple of people already told me they saw it, and they said, this is a movie you only want to see once. They said it was very depressing.
It looks that way.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll start out by saying that I cried the whole time watching this.
Wow.
It was incredibly moving the whole time. This is a film about a bodybuilder, the story of a guy named Killian Maddox. He looks incredible, but when you get to the root of this, it is like The Wrestler with a little bit of that song from Eminem's Stan thrown in there.
Yeah.
A little bit. But at its root, it's a story about mental illness and how our environments can shape us. And in his case, like the full definition of our environment, so he's a black guy. So race comes into play. And they even bring up, like the food that we eat. And I thought that was like really profound. And the movie goes into that. But you are watching a story about this guy who is perfectly qualified, but he keeps, if it's not his environment getting in his way, he's getting in his own way. And it's not his fault. It's just that he's sick. He is an ill person. And to watch this guy unravel and get in these situations, there were parts, near the end where I thought like, man, it kind of feels like plot holes because it does that thing near the end where it cuts to black a lot. But then the more I reflected on it, I was like, the movie is trying to do that artsy thing of like unraveling with the character. And let me just say, like, his performance blew me away.
Yeah.
I mean, there are these heart-wrenching scenes like where he gives this performance that's just so endearing, and there's even surprisingly like parts that are funny. Like when you see him leaving with the groceries there, he had this moment where he really wanted to ask this lady out, and he's like, no, I'm going to do it. So he walks back in with all the groceries in his hands. It's like, it's kind of funny to see that, but like this character is so unbelievably tragic. I thought this was incredible. Oscar-worthy performance. One of my favorite movies of the year. I think there's some top-notch A++ cinematography and just a performance that is weaved in there that if you go with it, it's about as good as it gets. I'd have to give this a better than sex. I'm upset that you guys didn't see it, so we couldn't all cry together about this movie. But
I'll see it at some point.
It's really awesome.
Yeah.
I can't recommend this enough.
Yeah, and I keep hearing great things about it. I think it's sad that it's just getting such a low release and it's not getting a lot of talk. And so that means that, this probably, unless this does build up some momentum, unless it does starts getting some accolades, unless people start chatting this up as some potential award winner for something, it's going to get swept under the rug.
And I've seen some casual moviegoers are trying to, they're trying to support his comeback, but like some people are like, look, I don't know if this is good or bad, but I guess this ain't for me. That's what I've heard some people say.
Yeah.
But I like when stuff can really bring me down to a level that makes me feel like it's real, and sometimes that's sad. And this is one of those movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, let me see here. Well, the good thing about this is that it's going to be on the Zeus network next week.
Yeah, that's the most impressive thing.
Between fighting gay guys and that was bullshit they put up there.
But this, I mean, people talked about Joker being the mental illness film.
Yeah.
I think this is it. Like, you want to see a true story about mental illness that doesn't even feel like it's necessarily about race, because it doesn't feel like it's a struggle film. Like, it makes it naturally all work together.
Well, listen, there's room for all kind of mental illness everywhere.
Yeah.
Come on. Clowns,
We got all the flavors.
Clowns, bodybuilders, yeah, man, come
Podcasters.
on. Yeah.
Toasted dreams.
See, my ass going crazy.